did you end up there, and how did we end up meeting for you?
I have a bit of a story.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I promise we'll play music. I used to cheat on a lot of my tests when I was a kid. Just like exams, quizzes, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And my school had this policy on cheating that was basically, if you get caught once, it's just like, don't do that again. If you get caught twice, you get suspended. And if you get caught 3 times, the teachers call your parents in to be like, I don't think this kid's right for the school. And I basically was like, I must have cheated 50 times, just like the over amount of the rules. And then I remember I was basically just like, I need to tell someone about this, that I've like broken the rules, whatever. I would go to all my teachers and I would tell them like, I cheated on your test. And
it's brave.
Well, whatever. I think I just didn't know what to do, and so that's what I did. And I knew that like the consequence was what it was. And then basically nothing really happened. The teachers didn't really do anything. But then my school did these exams called AP exams, where it's like what gets you into university.
Right.
The policy on cheating on those tests are basically it gets cancelled, and then you can't ever take another test ever again.
So you can't go to uni?
Basically.
Right.
If you cheat on an AP exam, you basically can't get into university. And so I realized that I cheated on one of those. So I remember I was like, what the hell do I do? Like, I can't tell my teachers. I have to like go to this
like
organization.
streak of confessing.
Right.
Though.
And basically I remember I set up this meeting with my principals to be like, this is what I've done. Is there something we can do?
Yeah.
And basically, and I also told them about the internal school stuff. And they were like, hey, thank you for telling us all this. We're not going to do anything with the internal school stuff, but we'll help you reach out to College Board. Anyway, so I reach out to College Board and I report myself for cheating. Which is a weird form because it's like, how did you witness this? I did it. And so, anyway, so I did all that, and then I was basically like, I'm not going to go to university because I was applying to business schools in the Netherlands with my AP scores.
You'd be a lot richer.
Right, than this. Yeah. But within that week waiting for College Board to get back to me, I just was like, well, I'll go look for stuff. And so I found some school in London that did music production. And I was like, I love music. Let's do it. That'll be cool. And basically, I get like a letter back from College Board being like, hey, thanks so much for reaching out. We just wanted to let you know that what you did is not considered cheating.
Right, okay.
So basically, it was during COVID, and all the tests were open note.
Right, okay.
But I didn't know this.
Okay.
Because it was all remote. Adam's laughing. Thanks, bud. It was all remote.
Yeah.
And I was at my house being like, like an idiot. But everyone could do that. But I didn't know that. But I think the point is because in my head I was cheating. And if I never did anything about that, we wouldn't have met because I wouldn't have applied to that school.
It sometimes felt like we were witnessing things that we shouldn't be witnessing, but it's like when you're eavesdropping on a conversation of 2 friends, and given how personal you guys also went with the questions, it felt sometimes like, I don't know, there was this weird thing of like feeling obviously so close to you guys and getting to know you guys more, but also being a spectator of a really strong bond, if that makes sense. I also found it super interesting how Alex, in my opinion, was much more of an open book than Daniel was. But that's also maybe the nature of the questions that were asked. But I remember thinking that was a bit more controlling of what he gave, and probably maybe also more conscious of, being surrounded by people that will hear what he says. Whereas Alex felt like Alex was, just talking and giving as much as he could, and going back to really digging in his memory to give all the detail and everything as much as he could.
I had a guy at school. He's called Jon Moore. The goat. The goat. It's kind of funny how he's the only teacher I think I call by their full name. Still. And not Mr. Moore or anything like that. I think it's maybe a testament to the kind of character he was, really, in the way that he was very approachable. Where I studied, music was like so methodical, and when I was growing up and learning about music, it was so methodical. And I remember I had this other teacher, Mr. Mason. I went into school one morning, and I was a big Coldplay fan. And he was like, "Alex, did you hear the new Coldplay tune on the radio this morning?" And I was like, yeah, I remember it. And then he sat down at the piano after listening through to it once on his way to work, played the whole thing front to back, and was then suggesting chords Chris Martin should have done in there to make it better. And he's throwing in all these...
Sounds like every time I give you an idea.
What?
Sorry. I was just going to say, sounds like every time I give you an idea.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
And I remember it really pissed me off, there's so much jazzy, so many jazzy chords. Not my vibe. But it was so technical, the way music was taught. And I remember with Jon Moore, I always felt like very close to him in the way that he seemed to see music in the same way I did. He very much played and felt it, and you could see he felt it. And I remember I had my A-level singing exam, and I rocked up, and I was doing a Frank Sinatra cover of Luck Be a Lady, which is so in my repertoire still, But, I had my best suit on, I was method. I've gone method. And Jon Moore rocked up because he was playing the piano for my exam, and I tried to pin him down for weeks to rehearse with, and he just was unavailable constantly because he's just so scattergun. And I remember he turned up on the day, and he had his shirt untucked. He looked like he just rolled out of bed. He stank of smoke, and I was like, "This is going to be horrid. Basically, this is going to be horrible." And I gave him the sheet music, which is the first time he's seen the sheet music at this point, outside the exam hall. And it's 6 pieces of music, 6 sheets of music. And we walk in, and he just plops the first one down, just the basically the introduction of the song. Huh. And I'm sat there, and I'm like, is he going to read the rest, or is he just going to play off the first sheet of music? And he started playing, and he's just playing something crazy. He's just improv-ing it. He's throwing all these weird chords in there. He's messing around with it, and it's a shaky start from me because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And then I see him looking at me, he's watching me, and he's playing off me. He's listening to what I'm doing, and he's following my dynamics. He's adding in little licks if I'm doing something, and it's electric. I remember that feeling. I think it's one of the first times, up until I met you, I reckon, that I actually really enjoyed playing live. Because it was when you have that feeling with someone else across the room, and it's this sort of unspoken chemistry. It's electric, and that has always stuck with me. And I saw him a couple of years ago in a coffee shop in Shrewsbury, where I'm from, and I told him I was still doing music, and I think he was shocked for one. But secondly, he was I could tell he was really proud, and it was lovely because I think a lot of people don't stick with it, And I think he really liked the fact I'd stuck with it, and that's testament to him a bit, you know.
Okay. That was insane. I feel like so privileged to have been able to watch dog radio in such a small venue, like in such an intimate way. I'm just excited that you guys told me that the music that you performed live is already recorded. So I'm hoping it means it gets on Spotify soon. Because the lyricism and the production and like the way that you both like fill every track with like both of your spirit and spirit in like the most like authentic and like raw way is really palpable.
Because you said the producer thing, I wish that I wrote more lyrics and sang them. I think I want to do that so badly that with my favorite songs, I pretend that they're my songs.
Okay.
Yeah, like my...
Well, pretend like you wrote them or you made
Yeah,
them or you
and
performed them.
okay, this is a bit much, but a lot of the time when I listen to these songs by myself in my room, I will act like I'm singing it
Okay.
to someone or people, but yeah. Anyway, do you know "Take It to the Limit" by the Eagles?
Yeah.
That is one of the craziest songs ever.
Great song. Great
And
song.
I will kind of pace around my room like an idiot, being like to all the lyrics.
Okay.
And I think the reason why isn't just because I really like that song. I do, but I think it's because I wish I wrote it, and so I like act like I wrote
Are you
it.
jealous that you didn't?
Yeah,
There's songs that you're like, I wish I'd written that.
sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's more because I wish I could write. I think I can.
You can
but,
write.
Yeah, but
Come right.
like it's kind of funny. My housemate is here, and
Yeah.
there are times when I'm so into it, and he will walk into my room, and I'm with my eyes closed doing something, and he'll be like, "You good?" This kind of
Yeah.
But I think it's not. It's just like I wish I made that song, and so
So what does it help you process?
right. That's what you asked. I don't know. This isn't an answer to your question either, but the thing it makes me think of is that like it feels like the thing that I'm pretty good at.
I've never been to a show like this before, and it was so beautiful. I really loved how you guys can talk so openly and express yourselves and be vulnerable, but then also expressing yourselves through performance after or like in between those moments. Felt like a release. And I think because of that, everyone was listening with such intention, which felt really special. And the audience definitely felt really comfortable and relaxed being there and, you know, just being with each other, which was quite cool. Also, great crack to just see two friends having fun and doing what they love. And then taking the piss out of each other, having a bit of banter, but then coming together to perform these beautiful songs. It was a really nice juxtaposition, but it all came together as well, which was really, really special.
I think for me, I mean, there's a few people in this crowd who will know, but when I was young, I was a really angry kid, and I'd lash out a lot. And I think music has perhaps helped me be a bit more forgiving and a bit more understanding and sympathetic of things that I can't control. And I think when I put things into song, it's a surrender. It's just like, that's gone. That's gone. I don't need to live with that anymore. I think like, Daniel and Will. I wrote that song, about the first girl I ever loved. And I remember we were together for years. We broke up, and years after I thought we'd be together. And I remember we went for a drink at a bar, and I got really drunk and spent all night talking about myself. And perhaps not as out of character as I think it is, but in that moment I was like extremely embarrassed. And I remember coming away from it, and I sat down to write this song, and it just opened me up a bit in the way that I felt as though I had sympathy for myself. And that's a lot of what music allows me to do, is be sympathetic for myself, I think, because I'm quite hard on myself. And so that's my way.
He was sick for a really long time, and so it's not like a surprise or anything. But
Were you close to him?
yeah, they would live with us basically
Right.
for months at a time when my parents first moved. Well, we first moved, and when I was a kid, I remember being scared of sleeping in my own bed, whatever, and he would be like, "You can sleep in my bed with me."
Okay.
And he was very... I just remember for months I wouldn't sleep in my own bed because I was terrified too.
Yeah. And he was there
Yeah.
to help with that.
I obviously sleep in my own bed now. Sorry, bad joke. I know you don't believe in God, but have you been talking to God about anything?
No, I don't ask God for anything.
Okay.
But I think when I listen back to the music we've made, and this new music that's coming out, I think it's like it's weirdly very spiritual. There's a lot of big existential questions in there, and I think that's me asking the ether for answers, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the closest I come to feeling spiritual is writing and playing. So, ask me again in a year, maybe I'll believe.